everybody, welcome back to another grilling video, and today we are doing a really simple one that we do all the time. You know, it dawned on us, every week we do another video and we're trying to find something new and different and adventurous to cook, but the reality is what we cook most often when we're not videoing is chicken. We eat a lot of chicken and fish during the week, and this is one of those recipes. We love chicken wings. So what we've got here is a big old package of chicken wings. And what we're going to do with these is make a nice dry seasoning that we put on them, and we're going to grill them at a very high temperature so they get nice and crispy on the outside, but absolutely delicious and tender inside. Let me show you just how easy this one is. Now, because of how quick this recipe is, you definitely want to have your grill. You could use an air fryer oven, but we always do it on our pellet smoker, and we want it up nice and hot. We want this to be at about 350 to 400 degrees. And we do that because if you slow cook chicken, you're going to have a rubbery skin, and we want that to be nice and crisp. It's also why we use a dry rub on the outside. So let's get started. We're just going to take these chicken wings here, and I'm actually going to do these whole. I'm not going to actually cut the wing tips off. I am going to trim any feathers we have on some of these off just because, well, that's not very attractive to those eating them. So we'll get those cut off. I'm going to put the whole thing right in our bowl. Now, we're just going to get these things trimmed up. Any extra skin off of them we want to pull off of here. Like, see, we've got a bunch of it right here. We're going to cut a little bit of that fat part of that off of there and put our wings right inside of a bowl. We do that for seasoning. Now, most people will actually do this in a Ziploc bag, and it works great, but I find it really easy to just do right outside, right in front of the grill, nice and quick and easy. Again, I'm cutting off these chunks that have a lot of skin that was right at the edge of it. When you buy these wings and you don't actually cut them up into the drumettes and the wings and pull the tips off, it's not uncommon that you're going to see some feather tips on the actual ends of the wings. So I like to cut them off just because they don't look very attractive when you're serving them up. So you'll see I'm just trimming those little guys right off of there. Now, I like to use this styrofoam because it makes it real easy to go ahead and get a nice seasoning on these. I'm just going to put these wings right back in the tray after I remove that little blood pad. Not exactly the most attractive thing in the bottom of these. And this, we're now going to sprinkle our seasoning on. Let me show you what we use for that. All right, let's talk about our ingredients here. We have 2 tablespoons of ground black pepper. We have 1 tablespoon of seasoned salt and 1 tablespoon, or maybe a tablespoon and a half, of Slap Ya Mama seasoning. We like this sort of Cajun seasoning. We also have a tablespoon of adobe, a tablespoon of onion powder, and a tablespoon of garlic powder. We're just going to mix all of this up. This is going to be our dry rub that we're going to sprinkle right on top of here. That's all we're looking for, just like that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take some of this seasoning, we're just going to sprinkle it right on here. Now it's a little breezy out here, so I'm going pretty low. Normally I would go higher than this. A lot of people will actually just put this all in a Ziploc bag and toss it around. That works as well. But we're going to use a bowl to do that. So what you'll see is, get it on one side here. Now, we're just going to try and flip some of these guys over. We can expose the other sides of them. Hey, you know what? Do me a favor. In the comments down below, let me know your favorite chicken wing recipe on your grill and how you go about doing it. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to spread this seasoning right out across these chicken wings here. And don't worry about getting it too even. We're going to have some extra, and that's okay. Now, what we want to do, we just want to get these guys right into our bowl. And I do this because any of our seasoning, get that right in there as well. Now, we're just going to go ahead and put almost all of this in here. We're going to leave about 2 tablespoons total still in this bowl for sprinkling on as we get closer to being done cooking. Now all we want to do is go ahead and toss these over. I should have grabbed my wider, shallower bowl, but this is still working. Just turning them right over like this, so they're just getting nice coating in there. Kind of show you what this looks like. This is exactly what we're wanting to see. Nice coating across all of these. Now, here's the trick. We're going to put a little bit of oil in here. We're going to continue to toss them. It'll help keep them from sticking from the grates, and it'll help that seasoning adhere to that skin as it starts to cook. So with that, we'll go in with just about 2 tablespoons of oil. You can use an olive oil, or this is just a cooking canola oil. Same thing. Just going to toss these guys around nice and gentle. Now the nice thing is, as these get a little bit of that oil on them, they start picking up any of that seasoning that was stuck to the sides of the pan. kind of show you what these guys look like here in just a second. Now look at that. That's exactly what we're wanting to see. Nice little coating of oil on everyone, and you can see just how covered up with that seasoning these guys are. They look phenomenal. All right, our grill is right about 400 degrees. We're gonna put these up on the top shelf. Now, I like to get a little bit of wood flavor, so I'm actually using a mesquite pellet. I think that actually tastes really good, but again, you can do this in anything, including just the gas grill. There's enough flavor on here that these things will be phenomenal, but I do enjoy a bit of that smoke. Let's get them on. And with that, let's get these boogers in here. With that, it's time to start putting these guys right on here. I'm doing these on the top shelf because this thing is so hot I don't want to scorch them down below. And with that, let's get these guys closed up. All right, these have been on for about 10 minutes or so. We're just going to go ahead and get each of these guys flipped over. Now I like to move them down here just so I can get to these back ones a little easier. You got to do this in a way that you know what you're turning over and what you're not. So use these, turn them over right back here. Looking good there. All right, let these go another 10 minutes or so. We're going to turn these about every 10 minutes, and when they're just about done, we're going to use a probe to check when they're done, pull them off as they go. The smaller ones will get done quicker. And remember, you got to know where the hot spots are on your grill. Mine's warmer in the middle than it is on the outside, so you might have noticed I sort of alternated. I took the ones that were in the middle and put them on the outside ones went to the middle. When I'm just about done, I'm going to use the rest of my seasoning here, and I'm just going to sprinkle it right on top of these just as they're getting close to being done. I like that extra little flavor that comes off of them right as you go ahead and take a bite into them. It's just one more sort of layer or depth of flavor you can put on these. But we'll keep checking these every 10 minutes or so. This is an easy one. I've been flipping these over every 5 to 10 minutes and kind of moving around on the grill so none of them get too overcooked. I'm now going to start checking them with the thermometer. It's best to use one of these quick read pen thermometers. You want to make sure that you're at least 165 degrees. I like to go about 170, 175, and that's perfect for me. Nice and crisp on the outside, still a little bit juicy on the inside, which is exactly what I like. So let me go ahead and zoom in and we'll start checking some of these and pulling them off. And away we go. These are looking good. As I mentioned before, I've got a little bit of this extra seasoning. We're just going to go ahead and start sprinkling out on some of these right up front. I do like the way that tastes on there. Now I've got my tray sitting just to the side here. What I like to do is just grab one of these guys and go in one of the thicker parts. See where we're at, 178. Get that guy off of there. Check this guy here. Nice thick part of the little drumette there. 185, we're definitely good on those.
Over here. Yeah, right here. Hey, do me a favor. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more like it, subscribe to the channel and click on that little bell notification so you get notified of new videos. Thanks.
And let's just check this guy because he's a big one, but I think he's probably done too. Yeah, right, 198. All right, that is looking good. All right, these wings have been sitting out now for about 10 minutes, just cooled off enough to enjoy them. Now, we do them two different ways. You can cook them for about another 5 minutes longer on high heat and get that outside really crispy, or you can just get it mildly crispy. I have these mildly crispy because it's really, really juicy chicken meat inside. I went ahead and broke this one up into essentially the little wing and the drumette, and then this wing tip, which will go feed that to the fish in a few minutes. Bon appetit, folks. That is some kind of good. What I like about it is a little bit of crunch on the skin. You get that dry rub on it. Not very messy, a little bit messy, but not terribly messy. And they are absolutely delicious. What I like most about these is when you get these little wingettes, you just grab this little bone, twist it, push it right out, comes out clean. Do the same with the other one if you want, and you've got yourself just a nice little boneless chicken wing right there. That flavor is absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Quick, simple, and easy. And For some reason, these things were on sale for $1.79 today, so I just decided to pick them up on a whim. This is what we're having for dinner tonight. About to bring them in, feed the family. Bye, y'all. Safe and happy grilling.